Hey, hey, everybody. Guess what? It's time for grandstanding. Go ahead, take this time to go get your favorite snack. Get you a bottle of water or whatever. My people, my family. All right. Hello there, my people. Hello there, my family. All right. It is time to grandstand with Mother Theresa. How is everybody doing on this Tuesday night, 7:03? I hope that you've had a great week on this week. Since the last time that I saw you all, since the last time that we were together. And I know that it seems like sometimes these weeks just go by so fast, but then other times it just seems like it just slowly goes by. But whatever the case may be, I am so very glad that you all are tuned in with us on tonight. And guess what? We've got another really good topic on tonight. Another great topic like we had on last week. But let me ask you a question before we actually get started. How many of you all were here on last week with me and you listened to me talk about the need for encouragement, the need for daily hope delivered right to your cell phone? And if you did not click on the website on last week, I am going to ask my husband or one of my girls to put in the chat www.getsoulnotes.com. I need everybody who is watching now, that will watch the replay, that will watch, thank you, that will watch anything that's going to be coming up, even if you see it on the replay, even if you see a little snippet of it. Listen, you all, I know without a shadow of a doubt that if I ask any of you all to put in the chat right now how your week has been, how your day has been, you all will all have different opinions about how things have been going. But if I also ask you, has anyone this week given you a word of encouragement? Listen, I share with you all that one of the things that I want you all to get into the habit of doing is speaking life into other people. Not only when you speak life into other people, it helps them, but guess what? It helps you. It helps you to be able to then break out of sometimes the situation that you're in. I believe without a shadow of a doubt that what we make happen for others, God will make happen for us. And it can be as simple as giving someone a word of encouragement. And so I'm going to go back to what I asked you all earlier. How many of you all gave a word of encouragement to anybody this week? Just put it in the chat. And guess what? I'm going to wait for you to put it in the chat. I'm going to wait for you to put it in the chat if you are one of the ones who was able to give someone a word of encouragement on this last week or since the last time that we were together. So if you did that, you did your homework, go ahead and put it in the chat. Even if it was something very simple, because guess what, you all? Sometimes we think that the words that we have to say to other people, it has to be these grand words, or it has to be these, what people call thunderous, things that we're saying to people. It doesn't have to be. You can just say something very simple. I shared with you all on the other week that I just simply smiled at someone as we were in the restroom, as I was washing my hands. I just smiled at her. And I think I also told her to have a great day, have a nice day. And so, guess what? That meant a lot to her because she said something about it. So you all don't have to say these huge monumental things to a person. All you have to do is just give them a smile or give them some words of encouragement. And if you all did acts of kindness, I see that. I'm going to tell you all tonight that I do not have my other tablet in here, so I can't see what you all are saying. And it's okay, honey. You don't have to run and bring it in here. I just can't see what you all are saying. But listen, what I do want you all to understand is that when you speak to somebody, when you say give them words of encouragement, again, it not only helps them, but it helps you. And if you have been doing that consistently, then you know what I mean. But now, here is my opportunity to say nice things to you, to give you words of encouragement every single day. That's what Get Soul Notes is all about. So yes, I am still pushing the product that I've launched on this week, on this month. And let me just tell y'all, I am so happy and I'm so proud about it because one of the things that I have said is that I want to be doing what I feel like I'm called to do. And that is to encourage other people. I have been trying my absolute best. I've looked for people to say nice things to. I've looked for people to smile at them. I look for the opportunity to do what God has in that He's blessed me to be able to do. Okay. Am I always able to do that? Absolutely not. But guess what? I am trying my very best. So with Get Soul Notes, I can do this for thousands of people at one time. And it's just a simple text that you will get on your phone, 9 o'clock every day, every morning. And it's a word of encouragement, a simple word of encouragement. How many of you all could use that? I know I can. And I know you can as well. So for $7.99 a month, you can get that. So I'm going to encourage every one of you all to please thank you, honey. I knew my honey was going to bring this in here. I knew he was. And he brought it right on in here. Thank you, honey. So listen, you all, Get Soul Notes. Please do. Make sure that you've got it. I've given you all a little bit of time to get it. If you haven't gotten it, guess what? Now is the perfect time to get Soul Notes. Get it while you can. Because guess what? The Lord may only have me doing this for so long, and then He may have me doing something else. But until then, I want y'all to get Soul Notes, okay? I want y'all to get it. And then on next week, I want y'all to tell me how it's made a difference. Now, for some of you all that are on here, I know that you already have Soul Notes. So put it in the chat if it's been a blessing to you. If it hasn't, then okay, let me know. I'll keep working on it. But if it's been a blessing to you, go ahead and put it in the chat. All right, everybody, let's get started with what we're going to talk about. I've been talking about spring. I've been talking about the fall for the last couple of sessions. And we know that in the fall time, the fall is for the changing of colors. Like you see my fall color that I have on today. You see the fall colors of my earrings. But one of the things that I will tell you all about the fall is that the things start changing. You begin to start dressing a little bit different. It's called sweater weather. That's when you pull out your sweaters, and you start pulling out those pretty colors, those vibrant colors, the oranges and the browns and the yellows and those deep, the golds, different things, the different colors of green. You start pulling out those colors, and that's your fall colors. Now, I can tell you that I absolutely love the fall. I love the fall colors. I love the colors of orange and brown and those deep, yellows. Those are just pretty colors. And not only that, but the fall brings us, it brings us Halloween. which I don't celebrate that, but I celebrate Thanksgiving. Most of you all probably that are on here celebrate, some of those holidays. But Thanksgiving is an opportunity for us to get together with our family, with our friends, with the people that we absolutely love, and for us to be able to have some time with them. And so, but not only that, you all, like I said, in the fall, what do we start doing? We start pulling off layers. We start pulling off the things that we have had on for the, I would say, the winter, previous winter, but then also for the summer. We change our clothes. We start changing our clothes. But the other thing that we start doing, you all, is we start shedding some things, and we start also embracing some things. And what I want to say to you all is that we wear many different layers. We wear in our life as individuals. We wear layers where we put on this face and we put on this air about ourselves that everything is good. Everything in our life is going well. Everything is a-okay. But let me just tell you, in the fall, you're doing yourself and others a great disservice. And when I say you're doing yourself and others a great disservice, what I really mean by that is that you're not giving yourself the opportunity to heal. You're not giving yourself an opportunity to get better. You're not giving yourself an opportunity to take care of you. Another mask that we wear, and we wear it because we're fearful of rejection. We may be fearful that people are not going to like us. Remember, we've talked about people pleasing, and we're going to stop being people pleasers, you all. For some, it may have worked for you in the past, but I'm going to tell you, you cannot be a people pleaser all your life. Okay? Am I saying that's a bad thing? I'm going to let you be the judge of that. Okay? But I can tell you personally, that's not a good thing for me, okay? Because at some point, I need you all to understand that you have a mind of your own, and then other people do too. But if you're always the one who's pleasing people, you put yourself in a very bad situation where you're going to be stressed out all the time, where you're going to be feeling resentful towards the people that you are trying to please. Because guess what? Let me tell you all about people pleasers, you all. When you're the one who's always pleasing other people, a lot of times those people are not giving that same energy back to you. So you do everything that you can. You jump over rivers, lakes, oceans, almost for those people. But they won't even cross the street for you. How does that work? Did you hear what I said? You would jump over a river, a lake, an ocean for them, but they won't even cross the street for you. Okay? So, but you are so busy trying to please them, trying to do what they want you to do, and what you think will make them like you, will make you feel a part of maybe this group that you're wanting to be a part of, this friendship group. And let me just tell you, at 61, number one, at 61 years old, there are still some people who feel like that they need to be a part of a group, a clique, a work group, or a girls group, or whatever you may call it. Listen, I have learned that a group of one, which is really not a group, but if you got the Father, Son, and the Holy Ghost in me, that's a group, okay? I'm good by myself. I'm good with, not having, to be a part of every whatever. It does feel nice, and I'm not saying that's not something that I enjoy. I'm thankful for my group of people that are in my circle, my inner circle, my next level circle, my work group, my family, I'm grateful for that. But you don't have to be a people pleaser to enjoy that. It comes a time in your life where people either accept you or they don't. They accept you for who you are, or they don't. And if I've said it before, I've said it on here, I know I'm not everybody's cup of tea, and that is okay. That is just fine, because not everybody is my cup of tea. And so when I know how to move myself around, I know how to, stay in my area. We've got a saying at work, we're going to mind our business and drink our water. Okay. Mind your business and drink your water. And that's exactly what some of us need to learn to do, is mind the business. Somebody else said, mind the business that pays you, okay? And stay out of other people's business. Stay out of other people's way. Stop trying to people please and go on and just live the life that God has created for you, okay? I'm going to tell you, you're going to be much happier. You're going to be much more fulfilled. You're going to be much less stressed, because you're doing your own thing and you're not trying to please other people. Now, that's not what I was going to talk about the whole time. I was going to talk about the layers of me, shedding the image and embracing the truth. And I guess it could be part of it is embracing the truth of who you are, okay? Because sometimes people think that they know who we are, but they really, really don't know us. They know the image and they know the person that we have portrayed ourselves to be, or that we have allowed them to see. Because a lot of us, we keep that true self for the people in our household. We keep that true person for the people that's our inner circle. So we all know about code switching. We all know about putting your best foot forward. We all know about wearing masks. We know about those things. But let me just tell you, when you can be your true, authentic self and embrace the truth of who you really are, you're much happier. And again, I would say we do that because we have the fear of rejection. Some of us are doing that because we are trying to protect ourselves from past trauma. You all, I talk about this a lot, about trauma. You all, some of us, we are walking around with so much trauma that have happened in our lives as either a child or even as an adult that we haven't healed from. We haven't dealt with it. And because we haven't dealt with that trauma, it impacts us in so many different ways. It impacts us in ways that we probably never really would even think about. When you think about, your shoulders are tight, your facial muscles are all tense, your body is just tense, and it's some of that, you all, is trauma. The weight that we carry, some of that is trauma. And I'm going to tell you that as you begin to heal, as you begin to deal with those issues of life that you have had, or what you have buried or thought that you buried, when you begin to deal with those things, then you begin to release some of that physical weight and also the emotional weight that you've been carrying. How many of you all have had to let go of some things this week, last week, the week before? Did it make you feel better? Something to think about. And so, as I was stating again, some of the layers that we wear can get kind of heavy. Like I said, the weight of trying to be a people pleaser, the weight of trying to mask up, the weight of all of that, it can get heavy. And when it gets too heavy, you all, we know we got to start shedding some of that. We got to start shedding the image that we portrayed to other people. Hi there, sweetheart. We've got to start shedding that and get back to our true, authentic self. Because let me just tell you, the person that God created is beautiful, wonderful, wonderful, and beautiful. God created us in his image. And I would like to say that when we start embracing the true person that God created us to be, again, you're going to feel much better. All right, so let me just talk about when the layers of me shedding the image and embracing the truth. Listen, when your peace begins to feel like it's fake, When you are smiling and it's exhausting for you to be smiling. I can remember one of the ladies that when she first came to work with me, she was saying that from where she was coming from, she came from a place where she had to put on this tough girl persona. And then coming to work in the school, she had to totally change that. So she had to start smiling more. And she told me, she said, Miss Caldwell, she said, when I get home, my face hurts. She said, because I'm not used to smiling. I'm not used to having to smile all the time. And she said, I'm learning how to do that. She said, but my face actually hurts. Smiling can be exhausting, you all. Okay. Again, I'm a person that loves to smile. I'm smiling most of the time. My sister Carolyn, I say, has the most beautiful smile in the world. And because she's smiling all the time, and it's just beautiful for on her. And one of the things that I do know is that when we have outgrown a lot of the situations that we find ourselves in, that smile can become exhausting. You're weighted down. And sometimes we can be more loyal to the person who we have portrayed our image to be to the public people, that you're more committed to that than healing yourself. You're thinking, oh, I can't heal myself because then I would have to let go of the person, that fake person that everybody seems to think that I am. Okay? But let me just tell you, you've got to get to the point where you're ready to let that go. I said earlier, I'm good. I am so good with being just me, where I crave being still, the stillness and the quiet time, and being able to come in my house. I talked about this with somebody. I said I can come in and I can shut in my house from Friday when I get off work until it's time to go back to work on Monday, and I am good. Do you hear me? I am good with that. I have things to do. I have projects to work on and all of those types of things. But guess what? For the people pleaser, for the people who feel like, first of all, you want to be a part of every single thing, you don't want to miss anything, that's not going to work for you. Okay? That's not going to work for you because you feel like, first of all, that you're missing something. I think I just saw something pop up on there that Mama said or something, and I'm not sure if I got it. But let me just say this again. Let me just say this again. When you start craving stillness more than applause, okay, you're getting somewhere. Because see, a lot of us feel like we need the applause. We need to be a part of something that somebody is always celebrating us. But I feel like you all need to understand this, is that not everything that we do in our lives, people are going to celebrate us, and that is fine. If they don't celebrate you, you've got to be good with it, okay? You've got to be good with the fact that not everybody is celebrating you. Yes, and it has rubbed off. Okay, yes, it is more. Oh, now I see what you're saying, Miracle. The smile, your mom, Carolyn, her smile most definitely has rubbed off on Jamarlin. Has most definitely rubbed off on Jamarlin. And so, and it's a beautiful smile, just like his Nana. So let's embrace the naked truth. I want you all the last couple of minutes before I leave off of here. And for everybody on here, if I didn't call your name again, like I said, I'm so glad that you all are here with me on tonight. And hopefully this information that I'm sharing with you is blessing you. I want y'all to embrace the truth of who you are, okay? I want you to embrace your truth, because your truth and embracing your truth is freedom. It's freedom from being bound by things that weigh you down. Okay, that things that weigh you down. Okay, and so, and not only that, but when you can have your true self, when you can walk in the trueness of who you are, that's a healed self. That's a self that is healing. It's not one that's performing, that's always on whatever. Um, and I think there's a new word that you all young people say, but it's a person that is healing. That's a person that's trying to heal. Okay. Hey there, my Candace. Uh, so remove the mask that you all are wearing and make room for some mercy. Make room for the goodness that God has put inside of you. And when you're giving yourself an opportunity or the permission to transform, don't let anybody talk you out of it. Okay? Because people like people pleasers. And when you stop acting in that role, first of all, they're going to try to pull you back. Because guess what? They were benefiting from it. As long as you're the person who's doing everything, as long as you're the person who is trying to make sure everybody is okay and people pleasing and all of this, and I got this, let me take care of this, oh, go sit down, I got you, whatever. As long as you're doing that, people are going to say, I'm going to let you do it. I'm going to let you do it. I'm going to let you do it. Okay. But when you stop doing it, that's when people start saying, oh, what's wrong with them? Hey, Martha, why Martha acting like she's brand new or whatever? Okay. Because Martha is tired. Just like me, Martha is tired. And so Martha, you for weakness. They take advantage of that. I'm not saying that's what they're doing, but to you, but everybody knows their situation. I'm sorry, you all messing with the camera. Everybody knows your own situation, but sometimes that's what happens is people begin to take advantage of your kindness, your meekness, your quietness, your wanting to please people. They take advantage of that. And so I want you to know that it's okay to give yourself grace to transform. It's okay to give yourself time to get away from that. Okay? All righty. And thank you, honey. And so whenever, again, like I said, whenever you do start making those changes, again, people may not like it. Cousin Renita, they may not like that. Mama, they may not like it. And so, but that's okay, because I need you to choose being true to who you are. I need you to choose being true to you and not necessarily the people that a lot of times would take advantage of that. I thought I saw Teddy T on here. If so, I'm so glad to see you, Teddy. I know my girls are on here. And of course, my niece Miracle, Shekinah, my mom, and whoever else that's joining us. If I didn't see your name or if you didn't put a comment, I'm sorry, I may not see you. But I just want to close out on tonight because I know our time, listen, 30 minutes go by so fast. But I just wanted to tell you all that just because people have gotten used to the old you, that doesn't mean that you owe them your old self. You owe yourself the new you, the transformed you, the you that is going to please. You're going to please God, okay? We're always going to please God, but we got to please ourselves, okay? We've got to start walking in our own truth. And let me just tell you, your truth is whatever it is. Your truth may not be my truth. We all have our own individual truth. So we've got to start walking in our own individual truth. I want you all to understand, and this is an affirmation that you can say to yourself, that I am safe in who I am. I'm safe to be seen. I'm strong enough to be soft. And I am loved as I am becoming that transformed me. Okay? Don't ask me to repeat that because I probably can't. But I need you all to understand that you, as you are transforming yourself, you got to be strong in who you are. You got to be strong in the person that God created you to be. And you need to feel safe being the person and being seen as your transformed self. You know, drop that image of that people-pleasing person. Remember, we talked about boundaries. It's somewhere up on the shelf here. We talked about setting boundaries. We talked about making sure that you are choosing to be true to yourself over being approved by other people. Because remember, their approval is not what matters. You all have to understand that we've got to be true to who God created us to be. Because guess what? Other people are not going to give an account of the person that God created, okay? We got to give an account to God for what we did or did not do, what he called us to do, called us to be, or not. Other people are not going to be able to stand in judgment for you. So I need you to choose your authentic self over the approval of others, okay? I don't want you to be afraid to be who you are. Stand tall in who you are. It's okay for you to be exactly who God created you to be. Okay? I'm talking to myself a lot of times whenever I'm doing this grandstanding with Mother Theresa. Honey, come get your phone. I am talking to me as well. I'm talking to, first of all, I'm talking to me first. Okay? It's okay for me to be who I am and not be ashamed of anything about me. Not be ashamed. Sometimes we can come from meager beginnings or what they call humble beginnings. And sometimes we feel like we never really escape where we come from. Okay? Now, sometimes we can be so ashamed and so embarrassed from the place where we came. But let me tell you, there is nothing that I find embarrassing about my past, where I come from, the struggles that we had to go through. Nothing, absolutely nothing. And and sometimes people will talk about some of the past struggles that you had. Honey, I'm fine. Sometimes people will talk about some of the past struggles that you have, but don't let that bother you. Don't let that change how you are going to transform yourself. Okay? Don't be afraid to be who you are. Do not be afraid to be who you are. Remember, you are created in the image of God, and God created us who he wanted us to be. So on tonight, as I am wrapping up, I just want to say, I pray that you find your true authentic self, that you find the person that God created you to be, and that you find that person fairly quickly. It shouldn't take you a long time for you to figure out who you're supposed to be. Well, first of all, let me just tell you all, most of us already know who you're supposed to be. Most of us already know the calling that God has for us. Most of us already know that we've been doing some things that we need to let go, but we just haven't done so yet because we're afraid of what people might say or what people may think. But I'm going to tell you, you all, time is winding up, okay? And when I say that, I don't mean that doomsday is coming, but you all, sometimes we can be in a season for so long that we think that that season is never going to change. But let me tell you, seasons change. There is a change in season, 4 times a year? They will change. Now, let me just tell you, in Texas, sometimes we can't tell one season from the other because they all look about the same, or we can experience 4 seasons in one season. We can experience 4 seasons sometimes in 1 month. Depending on where you are, some people laughingly say you can experience a lot of different seasons in a day. I'm not going to go that far and say that, but I can tell you that seasons will change. So if you've been stuck in a season in your life that you are not comfortable with, you are not thrilled about, you are not excited about, you feel like you need to change, guess what? Now is the time for you to make some changes. With this new season, you can transform yourself. You can start doing the things that you enjoy. You can take off some of those masks that we often will wear and carry. And let me just tell you, if you need a little bit of encouragement along the way to help you get to that point, don't forget, get soul notes, because it will help you in your journey as you are making this transformation. All right, everybody. Well, listen, I hope that you have enjoyed grandstanding on tonight. I hope that this word helps somebody as you are in your transformation, as you are giving yourself grace to transform, as you are pulling off the layers, as you are shedding the images and the previous images, and you putting back on your new image, and you're embracing the truth of who you are. All right? All right, everybody, listen. As my sister Cynthia would say, good night, grandstanders. I hope y'all enjoyed it. And I will see you all on next Tuesday if the Lord says the same and the creek don't rise. I'll see you all then. All right. Good night, everybody. Y'all like my hair? I got a retwist. Yes, I'm loving it. If y'all have been with me on this natural journey, this hair is growing. Like somebody said, I got a little bit of hang time. Thank you all for being here on tonight. All of my faithful listeners, I appreciate you all more than you'll know. Thanks, Miracle. Miracle, you look just like Ebony on there. Thanks, Ned. Y'all see that change? Y'all, my husband is on it. He done dimmed the lights. Good night, everybody. We'll see y'all the next time.